Hi everybody, I'm Julie, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk, and you're about to watch a really great video on the book The 10-Day Detox Diet by Mark Hyman, MD. You're gonna love this. Hi everybody, I'm Julie. Yeah, I did a review of the 10-Day Detox Diet about a year ago, so I'm gonna talk about it again because I left some stuff out. I got a comment on that video, 2 comments. One comment was from Flora File 7347, and she says, "Your laughter 150% made me laugh!" Exclamation point. Thank you! Exclamation point. And then Edward Gonzalez 6331 says, "Once again, awesome video!" Exclamation point. Thanks Flora and Edward. Okay, so because of that comment, I left some stuff out, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill in some of the blanks from the last video, which I'll link to. Okay, so I remember, I guess a couple of years ago, I asked my doctor if I did a checkup with my doctor. This is year 4 or 5 years ago. Anyway. And I asked my doctor was like, you're doing great. And I was like, totally. And then I was like, I'm like a little chubby, like, it's not that bad. Like, yeah. The most I've ever weighed is like, not that it matters. It doesn't matter. Like, you're beautiful. I'm beautiful. We're all beautiful. Okay. Okay. But the most I've ever weighed is like 225. I think I'm at 190 right now. I don't know. I haven't weighed in a while. And again, it doesn't matter, like, you're beautiful, I'm beautiful, we're all beautiful. It doesn't matter. But I know, like, anyway, I asked my doctor, but I say this with love. I'm a little chubby, that's okay. Like, I say this with love. I know this video, I don't know, anyone with a disorder, eating disorder, like, I guess, if you have access to it, I would say seek therapy. Okay. Anyway, I'm a little bit chubby, so I asked my doctor, hey, are there any books you would recommend for eating healthy? And she recommended the Blood Sugar Solution 10-Day Detox Diet by Mark Hyman, MD. So here's why I wanted to make a review of this book the first time and again. I like Mark Hyman. I listened to his podcast, and when I read the book, I thought the book was going to say eat healthy and exercise. And I mean, that is what the book says, but that's pretty much how you get into good shape. But what I was surprised about the book was how punk rock the book was. Okay, so the first thing he does is he just explains how the food industry works. So he says, like, the food industry is $1 trillion industry and how sugar is very addictive. That's like science, that sugar is very addictive. So trigger warning, I'm about to say some stuff that's like, it might bum you out basically, but he said that the food industry is $1 trillion industry, and like basically they're kind of like drug dealers. They want people addicted to their products so that they'll keep making money. So yeah, so he said the food industry, $1 trillion industry, sugar is very addictive. Sugar's more addictive than cocaine. That's like, they did a study, you can Google it, with rats. And so, they'll put sugar in everything. Like, they basically want you addicted to their products so that they can make money. So with this book, he 1,000% blames obesity or people being chubby. He blames, I'm surprised, he's thin, like, he's skinny, which is great, like, whatever. But all body types are awesome. I love everybody, but he's skinny, and I was just surprised to hear a doctor, skinny dude, blame the food industry. He 1,000% blames the food industry, and he really, really, really doesn't fat shame or blame the individual, right? Because I don't make $1 trillion. I'm up against $1 trillion industry. So, of course, we all have choices, and we do. Like, I do believe in individual choices and freedom of choice and all that kind of stuff. But when I read the book, it's like, yeah, like, the food industry makes it really hard. He breaks it down like they do. Like, they want you addicted to their products. So, even if, like, basically, sugar tastes delicious. Like, I had a muffin today, but that's the other thing he talks about in the book that I really liked. He says, like, junk food tastes great. He says that, and I know some people don't like junk food, and I respect that, but my first job was Burger King, so, like, yeah, like Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's, like, whatever, but by the way, I think McDonald's is like $1 billion company, but, like, yeah, the food's good, like Egg McMuffin or anything from Taco Bell. To me, it's, like, so delicious because I grew up on that stuff. So, yeah. So, anyway, so he just says, like, cheese, forget about it. Cheese tastes good, euphoria, you know, that kind of thing. The euphoria of eating cheese. But yeah, he says the industry is, like, $1 trillion industry, and so and hearing him blame the industry and just break down how kind of predatory the food industry can be, it just made me feel better about being chubby. So once I found that out, I was like, okay, I want to be punk rock. I want to eat healthier, you know. So yeah, number one, what I like about this book is he talks about how the food industry is $1 trillion industry. This second thing I like that he says in the book, it's pretty simple, actually. It's just basically drinking lots and lots of water. It's journaling, and it's just, like, eating organic fruits and vegetables if you have access to that, and then eating, like, lean meats like chicken, fish, like that kind of thing. That's the advice, basically. But he's trying to get you to detox a little bit from the addiction of the junk food, and he says, like, it's an addiction, and he even says, like, hey, he says if you leave, like, a big thing of ice cream, you know, in his house, like, he's gonna eat the whole thing, right? Because ice cream's so delicious. So yeah, like, food tastes really good, right? So he talks about that, but food can be a very communal thing, you know, for sure. So, but anyway, so the advice in the book is pretty simple, but it's just easier said than done, right? I mean, I guess I would say I'm a food addict. That sounds like intense or whatever, but I really like food. But yeah, like, I followed the advice in this book, and I did lose, like, maybe 30 pounds. Like, I did go from, like, 225 to, like, 190, you know. And I would say that who cares? Like, you're amazing, you're awesome, you're fantastic. So your self-worth, like, who cares how much you weigh? Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? So I don't care how much you weigh. But what I like about the book is, like, it worked, but also, like, it just made me feel better. So when I eat healthy, I can think better. I feel better. Yeah, because it's like, he talks about brain fog and the science of brain fog. Like, if you eat a bunch of junk food and then your brain's like, bleh, there's science behind that too, you know. So I appreciate how he breaks down the science. So once I started eating healthier, I just felt better for sure. And sometimes I can tell because I still eat junk food sometimes. I had a pistachio muffin today. But I can tell when my body, I can listen to my body when my body's like, stop giving me junk food. I need nutrition. Okay. So yeah, eating healthy, your body gets the nutrition it needs. So then you don't feel as hungry. He also says, like, hot sauce, like, your tongue needs stimulation. I know. So hot sauce gives your tongue stimulation because junk food is very stimulating. So he's like, you have to replace the stimulant. You basically have to retrain your taste buds a little bit to get used to eating healthy. That's the other thing he talks about. Okay. That's why it says the word detox. Okay. The third thing I like about this book is, like, yeah, eating healthy is like punk rock. Once I read, like, what the food industry is all about, I was like, oh, I'm eating healthy just despite the industry or whatever. So yeah, so eating healthy is punk rock. Okay. And then the thing I left out about the last video is just that this is what happened to me with this book. I think he says to consult a doctor, which I did, but So the first week or two, I followed what was in here. Basically, it's just eating healthy. I ate healthy, you know, and I cut out junk food. And then like, but then I would give myself like a treat day. And I don't know how this happened, but I was having like eating like a lot of junk food, like sugary junk food and soda. And so when the juxtaposition of eating healthy, when I first started doing this, the juxtaposition of eating healthy with then doing junk food, it caused me to get complex migraines. This happened like for like a week or two. Okay, you know how in the commercials on TV you'll get a complex migraine and you'll just go like this? On TV they're like, oh, that is not what a complex migraine feels like. For me, like a complex migraine, like I actually had to stay in the hospital overnight one time because of the complex migraine. The complex migraine, I was seeing stars. So my vision got impaired. Literally, I was seeing stars. Like right now I'm looking at the camera, but there would be stars surrounded in the camera. And also the pain, it was a migraine, but it was extremely painful. I was like on the floor in the fetal position. Yeah. And for the complex migraine. And then my coworker drove me to the hospital where I stayed overnight, and the hospital was really nice. They're like, let's get you some sandwiches, but like they were like good sandwich, like they weren't junk food sandwiches. And they took a picture of my brain, and they were like, we're gonna have you stay overnight for observation. All the nurses were so nice to me. I was like, man, I wish I had nurses at home. They're just so nice and comforting. And then finally the neuro doctor person came in and said, hey, like we looked at your scans or whatever, and it's like your brain's fine. And they were like, you know, sometimes complex migraines just happen. Oh, my friend visited me in the hospital. She was really sweet. Yeah, shout out to her. And yeah, the doctor came in and said, hey, listen, the doctor said, hey, listen, sometimes people just get complex migraines. We don't know why. They can be triggered by all kinds of things. He's like, so, you know, I'm so sorry you were in pain. And then he's like, but the good news is that, you know, you're okay, and just like be careful and that kind of thing. And here's what I would say. I feel like what happened is that here's what I think happened. I was eating healthy, my brain was happy, my body was happy, and my brain and body was getting used to actual nutrition. And then when I had my treat day, I would go bananas. I'd have like soda and sugary food. So I also had a stressful job at the time. But I think what happened was I was being nice to my brain when I ate healthy. And then when I went bananas with the junk food, my brain was like, it's called brain fog, or sugar does stuff to your brain. So I think like my brain was like, when my brain was healthy, it was happy. When I was eating junk food, I feel like my brain was basically saying to me spiritually, like, what the fuck? What are you trying to do to me? Yeah, I think the juxtaposition of eating healthy and then boom, this bombardment of junk food, I think for a week or two that fucked up my brain, and that's where the complex migraines happened. So then after that, I really, really cut down on junk food. And my treat days, I was going bananas, so I don't do that anymore. But yeah, the complex migraines, like, they fucking hurt. Excuse my language. So it kind of showed me how important like eating healthy is, and exercise is super important too. But they say eating healthy is more important than exercise. But yeah, like I know the word diet can be like triggering, but yeah, Mark Hyman, actually, he's pretty punk rock. He's very punk rock. He's advocating for working class, middle class, poor people in the United States. Everyone deserves good food to eat, like nutrition, you know. So like his whole mission is, in my opinion, using fruits and vegetables to empower working class, middle class, poor people, you know, and then telling rich people to eat healthy too. So I appreciated, I appreciate it. So yeah, he inspired me to like want to eat healthy. I don't like it when rich people, so if a person makes 6 figures or 7 figures, I don't think they should be mean to people who make 5 figures about when it comes to food, because I just don't think they should do that. I think when people say mean things about fat people, it's an aesthetic choice. Aesthetically, they prefer a thinner person. That's okay if that's someone's preference. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm a little chubby right now, so it's like, if when I go on dates, like, or whatever, not that like, whatever, I'm not some, whatever. I'm not Don Juan, but I'm just saying, like, if I go on dates, I have to, like, you know, I'm looking for chubby chasers. Right now I'm a little chubby. So it's just like, I have a job, and I have a day job, and I actually I exercise a lot, but it's like, right now I'm not, you know, whatever. But I do appreciate knowing, like, eating healthy is super important. And, I don't think people should be, I don't believe in fat shaming, you know, because the food industry is $1 trillion industry. So every American, we're up against $1 trillion industry. So, you know, one of these things has a lot more power than the other. Okay. So I just want to encourage everyone out there, love yourself right now. And here's a little tactic too, to like love your body right now. Is like, sometimes when I take a shower, I'm just like, oh, I love you, little shoulder. I know this is cheesy, but it works. I love you, little shoulder, you know, as I'm washing myself. And that's just saying, like, I'm a little chubby, but it's like, I love myself. I love my body now, you know. And with that, sure, I want to get in better shape. And I know, like, Chris Pratt, the actor, you know, he was a little bit chubby on Parks and Recreation, and then Marvel hired him and he got in really good shape. I was like, I kind of want to do that one day. I haven't gotten hired by Marvel, so what I'm trying to say is they paid him to get in good shape. Oh, by the way, like, if all you had to do was get in really good shape, like if you didn't have to have a job or something like that, apparently it only takes like 6 months to be in really good shape, like with what Chris Pratt did from Parks and Recreation to Guardians of the Galaxy. So apparently, if you really like, if all you had to do was wake up in the morning and make sure you're in good shape, it's actually not that hard to do, but it's just most of us, we have jobs and we have lives and that kind of thing. So anyway, so I really like the book 10-Day Detox Diet. I know diet can be a triggering word for folks. It's not a triggering word for me. The other thing I want to say is, like, I overall tend to have high self-esteem. So I think, like, me and my little sister were talking about how even when we're chubby, or we have really high self-esteem, and that's kind of the problem. So we'll happily, you know, gobble food, and we still love it ourselves. So that's kind of the problem. So it's just a matter of, the other thing he does, this is not triggering for me. He does have you weigh yourself every day. So I know if you have an eating disorder, that's problematic. But I love myself at any weight, and that's kind of the problem. I love myself. I deserve cheeseburgers. So I think, but for me, like, my sister said the same thing, like, you know, doing daily weigh-ins helps me stay accountable, where I'll eat a salad for lunch instead of eating like 3 cheeseburgers or something, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah. So, but that is to say, the weighing myself is not triggering for me. It worked for me in like getting in better shape. So, but I can see how that can become problematic behavior with someone who has a disorder. So, eating disorder. So yeah. So prayers to everybody, prayers to anyone dealing with eating disorders, 1000%. But yeah, this is, I think it's a good book, 10-Day Detox Diet. It does a good job of explaining food addiction. It breaks down, it's because of the book I learned how to enjoy eating healthy. And then 3, like I understood on so many levels why it's important to eat healthy when you can, you know. Oh, no judgments too. Like I just want to say, like, if for some reason I ever meet you or I'm walking by and you're eating like a double bacon cheeseburger and a milkshake, like I'm gonna be like, right on. I am not one of those people who judges people for what they eat. I'm really not. Life's too effing short. So the same thing, if you ever see me, I don't want to be a health guru. That's what I'm saying. If you ever see me eating a double cheeseburger with a milkshake, like, you can give me a high five and that's it. So I don't like it when rich, skinny people are mean to middle class, chubby people, but it's insensitive. But I think I think no matter what, people should be nice to other people and give each other high fives. Let's all be nice to each other. It's not that deep. Let's just all be nice to each other. Okay, so yeah, I still recommend the 10-Day Detox Diet, Mark Hyman, MD. I really appreciate his social media presence, and he has a podcast. He's made other books since then, so I think he's pretty great, and I like his books. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. If you want to know more about me, check out the website below. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.